AIRPOWER. It's Europe's biggest air show. This year, we were lucky enough to get VIP access to the event, fly in a DC-6, which is a World War II plane, and it's the only one of its kind that still flies. We met the Flying Bulls, which is a group of guys who fly a fleet of restored historical planes, and I met even the guy who skydived through the London Tower Bridge. So as we arrived, it was crazy. The event happens approximately every 3 years and features a crazy, amazing display of military, civilian, and historical aircrafts performed by top aerobatic teams and solo pilots.
We made it to the AIRPOWER. Happens every 3 years. It's the biggest air show in Europe, and thanks to Red Bull for letting us come here.
The event often involves more than 200 aircrafts from various countries. It's free to attend, which makes it accessible for everyone, and that's definitely what we saw. There was 300,000 people visited over the 2 days. We saw a wide range of historic aircrafts and some very fast jets. It was insanely loud, and we were lucky enough to have earplugs, otherwise I think I would have gone deaf.
Okay, so basically got given some more extra bonus special air potty waddies, so that the oilies tut net so weh.
Later in the day, we got a close-up look at the Flying Bulls. These guys, as I mentioned, are an Austrian aviation team. They're from Salzburg, and they restore vintage aircrafts and helicopters, which you can see here. They've performed air shows around the world, and later in this video, I'm going to show you how I met the flight engineer for the Flying Bulls, and he's actually also a New Zealander.
A guy called Sigi was an aviation professional expert. He was passionate about it, and then Didi Matteschitz gave him financial backing, and that's how the Flying Bulls were started.
The planes they fly are all fully restored, and it takes years and years of very meticulous work to get them to even fly again. But that's what these guys do. They're dedicated to bringing these old machines back to life. And they don't just bring them back to life, they put them on show by bringing them to air shows all around the world. And later in the day, we got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fly in the DC-6. And as we boarded, I actually met a guy who was flying with, and his name was Marco Fürst. And this guy is one of 2 skydivers who recently skydived through the London Tower Bridge.
Marco is one of the skydivers in the Red Bull skydiving team, and recently you did the Tower Bridge in London.
Yeah, so we flew through Tower Bridge back in May. That was really cool. Huh?
2 years in the planning, right?
Yeah, 2 years in the planning and over 200 training jumps.
200 training jumps, and then obviously a lot of like getting permission from London and everything.
Like took over 2 years to get all the permissions.
Bro.
Really cool, nice process.
That's crazy. And what's next?
We fly with the DC-6, huh?
That's next. You're gonna jump out?
I would love to, but not this time.
How many skydivings like do you do a year?
I have in total now around 11,000.
Okay.
And a year I do around 800.
Okay, wow. I did it once. In St. Pölten?
St. Pölten.
No, warte mal. St. Johann.
As we got on board the DC-6, it was instantly clear how special this was. They had air hostess ladies. They come on and they welcome you on board. They offer you a drink. They explain the safety rules. The main thing that they said was if we feel sick at any point that we need to tell them, because it's quite normal for people to get sick on these older planes. Some information on the DC-6. It's a historic aircraft originally designed by Douglas Aircraft Company in the 1940s, primarily for long-range commercial flights. So it's back in the 1940s for commercial flights, and one of the most interesting things about the DC-6 is that it once served as a presidential aircraft for Yugoslavia's Marshal Tito, and there was a photo of him in the plane.
Some men and a female in black and white says Yugoslav President Tito and wife Madame Roz wave goodbye to officials and Canada after spending 5 days here. The president left Halifax en route to London, England. UPIB, I don't know what this means, but it's an old picture and it shows how old this plane is. I think that's really cool.
Again, the history on this plane and these planes was crazy. As I mentioned, this was fully restored by the Flying Bulls, and it really stands out for its luxurious interior, which you can see in the footage here. It has a 4-engine propeller. When I spoke to the flight engineer later, he said it can lose 3 out of 4 engines and still be able to fly. It obviously wouldn't be good, but he would land it still quite easily. This plane can fly on just 1 engine. As we arrived back in Salzburg from our flight,
This voice.
it was a super special moment. As I said, got to chat with Don, who's a flight engineer from New Zealand. He's been working in the Flying Bulls for a very long time.
I got into this job 23 years ago.
23 years. So what's your actual title? What do you...
That's called flight engineer.
Okay.
You know, so basically in this
So what
case,
we saw now, that's
Yep.
what you do.
because there's just so many systems to look after
Yep.
that it's just better the pilots can concentrate on getting us
Right.
in the right direction at the right height, and
Right.
I'll look after that we don't blow engines up
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
So you would be in most flights that are old planes that need flight engineers.
Well, only the DC-6 has a flight engineer.
Okay.
So, you know, there are other models, but
Yeah.
the only one in our fleet is the DC-6, yeah.
This whole experience was kind of crazy for me. I genuinely came home seeing the world slightly different because I had been given a view into the world of aircrafts and extreme sports, and the thing is, I'm not really in this world, but it was such a pleasure to see it and to see the people who love it and obsess it, and 300,000 Austrians or people that come and see the show. So I will leave the final words for the Johnny who flew in the DC-6, and thank you guys very much.
There's 1,000 people, millions of people maybe, that would sit here today. And I just hope that through this video we can help you experience it. And it's like, I know there's a lot of people that would want to do this. It would be an absolute dream. And I'm aware of that, and I want to share it through the video that we're making for you guys.
It's beautiful.
Post.